Welcome to the Roundtable, episode 44. Before I go any further with that, I want you guys to think real quick. How long do you think the Roundtable has been on Convicted Hearts? So how long do you think it's been on this platform right here? And then give me your answers towards the end. And I'm going to go back and look because I want to see who's got it right here. Shout out to everyone that's already tapped in. Ruben Sanchez, I see you. Bougie D, Vince. There we go. Cultura, good to see you. Salvador Padlan, eVisions. Salabo 831, that's right. Local boy right there. Diana, good to see you. Let me make a correction first and foremost. I made a mistake last week's program, and that is due to my own squirrel brain, excuse me. So shout out to Vince. He's in the chat right now. He is the one that gave me the information on the Ivan Cantu story. And I think I said a different name. So shout out to Vince. He shot me the info and I really appreciate that and sent me a really, really good video link to watch live during that whole process of Ivan Cantu being, I have to be careful with my language, unalived by the state of Texas. You guys can look that story up or check out last week's The Roundtable, but it's Vince that gave me the info. So my bad, my correction. There we go, Mrs. Chicano too. Shout out. Let me bring on our beautiful co-host, handsome and beautiful and all that. You guys, okay, buckle up, strap in, and get ready for some good stuff, okay? Here we go with the Mrs. Denise Castillo.
Hi.
Welcome, sister. Good to see you.
No.
I feel like it's been too long.
It's been a week.
Right, but it feels longer for some reason. I don't know why. And then we got the man of the hour. And let's see right here, Tattoo Rabbit, House of Tattoos.
Hello, Jen. Hello, Denise. How you doing?
Doing good. Looking forward to seeing you guys and everyone in the chat this week.
Always, every Tuesday. I love coming here.
Right? It's a blessing. It is a blessing, that's for sure. Right? So
send mine to the chat, man.
Hi, everybody.
I had to correct myself.
Salad Bowl
with
eVision, Salvador.
Yes,
everybody, Ruben, Vince, everybody, Naylove, Gilbo Naylove, Bougie D.
Good to see you guys, everyone. Yeah. That's right. Let's get this going and let's just jump right into it because I feel like we have a lot of topics tonight. Right? Let's see.
Denise, why?
Right? I know.
What that? I'm laughing because I'm sorry because of Cultura Cafe. What he said.
Oh.
He always cracks me up, man. I ain't gonna lie. He makes me laugh, man. Shout out to Cultura Cafe for making me laugh, brother.
My Dorothy outfit for Halloween.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Let's get into what did we do and talk. You know what, you guys? I noticed right now. This is crazy. I never thought it showed me before my mods when I came in through the StreamYard app. I wonder if it changed because now I can see them.
Oh yeah, I can see them
too. Highlighted. Yeah. So shout out to all the mods. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the real.
You never could see them before?
No, not on the StreamYard app. It wouldn't show me my mods with the wrench next to it. So shout out to you guys.
All right.
All right. Let's kick this off. Denise, what did you do this last week? Tell us all about it. Give us the achievement.
Okay, what did I do? Why don't I think of this stuff?
I know, right? I do that too, right before we start, but there's something. We're always on the go.
Gun store. We went to a gun store.
Okay.
Oh, that's what happened. So we ended up going to on Saturday to this new store, and my freaking battery died out in my car.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
First thing I'm thinking is, oh my God, I gotta fix this. I gotta get a new battery like today, because the following day on Sunday I went to brunch with Cholo Trucker's wife, Bella.
There you go. Yeah.
And that was cool. It was fun. You know, I never did it's been a minute since I did brunch. But not lately. Like, I could say like 4 years I haven't went to brunch. And it was good. It was good. We had a good time. Good time fellowshipping and hanging out and talking and we everything ended up going well. I told her I have the Bella syndrome because I swear last night, I don't know why I get nervous. I can't sleep the night before. Happened last time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
but Bella doesn't look like the type of person that looks nervous. I mean, she looks like she's
He's
just,
not.
yeah,
me?
just bam. No, Bella.
Oh, Bella, nah, she's cool, man. She's like,
Yeah. No, she's real nice people, man. They're in Cholo
I had
Trucker.
I have Bella syndrome. You know how you have that white coat when you go see the
Oh,
doctor?
so like you got nervous before.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Oh, okay.
Right. It
I got
happened last
it,
time
okay.
too, with plans. Happened last time, and I got like upset stomach, and so yeah, I don't know what it was, but I made it out there with
Yeah.
her. Yeah, we just had a good time.
That's good,
she's
man.
a
That's good.
sweetheart. I absolutely love them. They're good people.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Cholo's looking all sharp. I seen a couple of things of him with his zoot suit on, his zoot suit attire.
Right. Creased and pressed to impress. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
That's right. So shout out to Dan. That's right. So we'll be looking forward to when he comes off of his 40 days of Lent.
Right? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So how about you, House? What do you got going on there?
Man, like Friday and Saturday, phones and talking, and it's gonna be brief. And and we got some long conversations. got to speak to people like Eastside Paramount, Big Stomps, G. Lou, all kinds of people. Then Big D and I were talking, and Monica were just sharing and talking, chopping it up, and other people, Nay Love. Shout out to Nay Love right there, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? The thing is like I ended up Saturday doing something small, just keeping busy. Sunday, like I always do, church, feed the homeless, on the phone again. That was like that. Then the dog that I got, her name's Pearl, but I think I'm gonna call her Pretty Pearl, because there's a Pearl right here.
Right.
The lady down the way right here, she has a Chihuahua named Pearl. So I think I'm gonna name her Pretty Pearl or something like that. Yeah. And other than that, like today, I'm starting a project. I'm building some benches. I'm building some benches. So I went down to Lowe's, bought the stuff, and now I'm just gonna start building. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. I like that. Sounds like you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been really busy, but it's good. It's all good, man.
Yeah, all good stuff. That's right. Yeah. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Give us a thumbs up, guys, as you come in. We appreciate
American Topper, Machete, Kyobo, Machete.
Well, as most of you guys know anyways. Hold up. We got a shout out. Thank you, G. Lou. Muchas gracias.
It's a brother right there, G. Lou.
Yes. Shout out. Thank you for that. Always coming through with the super chat.
He's a brother right there, man.
Yes, absolutely. So as most of you know, I got to see a live fight. Some chingazo.
I seen a couple of pictures and stuff like that. All right.
So shout out to Chicano Tube, and that was pretty exciting. Honestly, I haven't got to see a fight like that up close and personal in a minute. So it was really cool. And I got out of the house, which, as you guys know, those of you that know me, is rare for me to get out and about, So yeah, that was fun. I would highly recommend you guys check that out and go look at the photos that were shared and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, that's good, Jen, that you did it, man. That's dope. That's right? All right, man. That's good. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Yeah,
it was good, and it was very well put together. I got to learn this stuff, and the photography, the filming of things is so beautiful. It's an art, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just, I'll learn as I go. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, right? I went to my first brunch ever in life with Mrs. Chicano Tube. So
okay.
Yeah, Denise and I we had a girls' brunch. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
It's fun to get out,
It was a lot of fun. And
hey, Jen, I want to say this. And if you do come to house party 2, then maybe I'll teach you how to dance.
You know what? I'm gonna hope you do that.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Shh.
You guys heard him. Too late. You guys heard him. I'm probably gonna have to have a little to help my nerves out, but it'll be worth it.
No, it's all good. It's all in fun. Hey, Malvin, like when you told me that about Melvin, I was like, wow,
That's cool.
it's a blessing, man. Melvin's a
It
good
is.
guy there, man.
I can't wait till you bring something else out of him.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Wait,
it's on him, man.
right? Where are we going? Yeah.
I really don't know. Hey,
Hey, but you know one thing about Melvin, he does take care of you, man. He's a good
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
He
yeah,
does take care of you,
I'll
man.
tell you
Yeah.
that.
Denise and her hubby are definitely couple goals right there
Yep,
for
yep.
sure. Love you guys and love to see you support each other and support everyone. That's
That's
something
right.
that you're good at and you always
That's
do.
right.
So shout
Oh,
out.
sure.
So yeah, that was
Right on. That's a good weekend.
yeah,
And
and then
then fast for me. I don't know about you guys, but I know by fast for me because we're looking forward to Sunday, right? I was
mhm,
looking forward to that, and then so just waiting anticipation from Friday, and then it went by quick. Sunday came and it went. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like time is just going by fast. I don't know why.
Hey, I agree with you. I agree with both of you. It's passing by.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is.
Yeah. But we're
So
getting those longer days now,
so
and this month we turn the time fall back
yeah,
spring forward, right? So we're
forward.
going forward. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
it's
that's
gonna be
next
lighter,
year.
longer, right?
Yeah. Southtown SD, shout out to you. Thank you for tapping in. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So,
light.
Bougie D,
Gonna be
there's my
light.
girl. Yeah, so Bougie D says daylight savings time is this Sunday coming up. So yeah, we're gonna lose an hour of sleep, right? But we gain like an hour of daytime light.
Hey,
So
I think I like
I
it
only
better.
run on like
I like it
5 or
better
6
that way.
hours a day.
right?
I like it better the hours because when my husband goes to work, it's still daylight out. It's not all dark.
Right.
Yeah.
I would
So,
agree.
I look
Yeah,
forward to that.
I would definitely agree with that. Hey,
Big
Big D.
D.
Big D keeping it real. You guys go check his channel out as well. And
Yeah, it's the
support.
brother right there,
Right.
Big D.
Just sending mines right back. And let's see. That's funny.
Miss D.
Let's
Monica,
get
probably
into
on the road, huh?
Oh yeah, she'll probably be tapping in here in a minute. I bet our girl Monica. Let's get into some stories. I try to choose some things, and you guys do too, and we all get together and brainstorm. So if you're watching in the chat live, or if you catch the playback, and also to those of you who are listening from the podcast, this goes up on podcast version as well. So we've been getting a lot of love from people who are listening to us through podcast.
Nice.
So,
Oh wow! All right,
you
all
guys.
right.
Yeah, I've got to share some things with you guys behind the scenes here in a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, Randy Jean. But let's see
Mhm.
this story coming up. And this is the reason why I made that poll
you,
that
Randy.
I had posted recently on the community page. So this is a guy. Well, maybe I should just play it. And then you guys give me the feedback in the chat.
Okay.
I sent it to both of you earlier. Let's see what our people here have to say. Okay, guys, let me play this video. It's a little on the long side, but stick with it because the ending packs quite a punch. Okay, just a moment.
I have been married for 51 years. Got 2 sons, 42 and 40. Damn deadbeats. I'm still supporting the little boogers. Needed to take a test to see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother. Found out something interesting. They ain't my kids. There's somebody else's. Of course, the only good thing is, I know it's not my fault that those 2 idiots got dumped into this world. Hell, I thought they took after their mother. Instead, they take after the plumber or the postman or the milkman, or, yeah, they were milkmen back when they came around. I mean, God only knows. It sure gets old. I do wish I knew who the real fathers were. And they ain't the same. She was bopping a couple of different guys. But if I could figure out who they were, I've been practicing law long enough that I pretty well figure I can sue their ass and get all my money back that I sunk into those two deadbeats.
Hmm.
Well, I
She's
mean,
flopping all over the place.
whopping. She was whopping and whopping. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I think I know her. I know a couple of those.
huh.
Poor guy, though, you know.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. Like he's really like crying, this man.
Right. Hey, Darlene.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That
We
ought to
have
be a
to,
blow, man. After 40 something years, man, and to find out,
and
Fit flopping.
yeah,
The
married
milkman.
over 50 years. But
yeah, 51 years. Yeah,
But
yeah.
so this guy is a judge. Imagine that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then finding out something so terrible.
Yeah.
So I had put this in the community post. I just thought, I wonder what how people feel about this. And I put, so this is what I wrote. We need your help, guys. I'm working on several topics we are going to use for Tuesday's roundtable. Do you believe there should be DNA tests done at every childbirth, regardless of the status of the parents' relationship / marriage / hookup / etc.? And I wanted to get like a breakdown of what do men think, what do women think? You know what I mean? So here's what we got. 50% of men that say, I am a man and I believe in DNA test at birth. So 50% of men that voted feel it should happen. 20% of men do not believe it's necessary. Okay. Women, as a woman, I do believe there should be a test at birth. 12% of women feel it should be done at birth, DNA tests. And then as a woman, I do not believe there should be a DNA test is 17%. So it seems like a much higher rate of men feel that it's necessary than women. And I would imagine that has to do something with the whole reason of child support issue. And
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
you know what I mean? What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
I've seen somebody that I used to work with go through a situation like that, and he was waiting. He went and got a DNA test and all that other stuff, because he was paying for child support for this child,
Yeah.
and it ended up not being his,
Right.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but yeah. But
Yeah.
if you were to bring that up to your spouse or whatever, how do you think she would feel? How would she respond? Negatively, negatively or what? Who knows?
I think it depends how you say it. If you're arguing about something and
It's
that
like-
comes up, like
It's like already
you're throwing it in
questioning
face,
and
like that thing.
mistrust. You know what I'm saying? That she's probably going to get that.
Yeah. It would be difficult, right? How do you bring that up? That's a conversation that you would definitely have to go into that with a cool head and not, like Denise said, don't do it in the midst of an argument for sure.
Yeah, how else would it come up? How else would you? Okay,
Right.
so for purposes of what he said, they had to do some type of test for kidney or something?
His brother needs a kidney. So for a kidney, we're all born, well, most of us are born with 2 kidneys. So we can live with only one.
Yeah.
So his brother needed a kidney. They were looking for a live donor, which would be a blood relative. So everyone went to get tested, and somehow that blood test they had revealed that the 2 sons he believed were his for 40 something years.
They don't even match, huh?
They're not related
The
to him at
DNA.
all.
Yep. Yeah.
What did they think? We didn't even get their side. Like, I wonder how they're feeling.
I know.
You're talking about the sons? You're talking about the sons?
Sons. How do you guys think they felt?
Well, I don't know.
He came off pretty pretty
Yeah,
upset, right?
and I think that's probably in the heat of the moment, anyone would be pretty upset. And
How do you think they felt?
yes.
So do you think his sons were deadbeats, or did he was just saying that out of anger?
No, he said the fathers. Wait, correct me.
No, not deadbeats, but he's still providing for them. He's still taking care of them.
Yeah, he did say I think he did refer to them as deadbeats, and he said they're both 40 something, and he's still providing for them.
Oh wow! I thought he was talking about the so-called dads. He wanted to find out.
No, so
who dads were. No,
Well, he did mention that as well. He'd
Yeah.
like to, he said, with all the years of law practice he's been involved in, he would like to know who the fathers are to try to get his money back, which
Right?
won't happen. But I get where he's going with it. Like, man,
Yeah.
that's got to be crushing to.
No doubt.
Here's how I thought about it, right? Like, I do know, like, I have a friend, she met her guy while she was pregnant. She was like 7, 8 months pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And so obviously he knew that was not his biological child, but
Right.
they have formed a beautiful family unit and they are like one of the most solid couples I know. So it can happen. It can work. Everybody's testimony and story is different.
Right.
True.
This thing is he was lied to. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was never even approached to him like,
And
hey, this happened, you know.
right. And she knew, of course she knew.
Of course she knew.
And she didn't tell him or the kids when they were old enough to know or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, she should have been upfront with everybody. And this is
How long ago was that video? Because I'm wondering how they are now to this day.
You know, it went
What was-
viral last week. So I'm assuming it went viral on TikTok last week. So I'm assuming it's pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Then again, it takes some time for things to catch
Right.
up online. So it
Yeah.
might not be.
That is so crazy right there, man.
Let me see if I can find out. But
That
here
is-
we go. Here's a good comment right here. Cultura Cafe says, if you're a woman and you cheat on your vato and have him raise another man's kid, you should be charged as a scam artist.
Huh. Hey,
You know,
that
I
makes sense.
wonder.
She
Hey, but
knows,
that girl was scandalous, man, to be cheating on her man, you know?
well, she knew. I mean, she knew that they weren't his.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It could be
So-
the other way around, where she could have been with, like you said,
Yeah.
Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. She was bopping, as he said. She was bopping.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, not to make light of his situation or
Yeah.
the boys, the sons, they're adults, but even if they were, you know, deadbeats allegedly or whatever,
Yeah.
at some point they were children who looked up to this man as a father. So that's very sad to find that out.
You know what? And for some reason, I see his position. He's a judge, and he's been around with them, and he does have some kind of thing saying, you know, they're really not doing too good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I think his heart maybe still will be there for him. Because I mean, how many years has it been? I mean, it's not like you could turn things off
Yeah.
because it's like they were your kids all these years.
Straight up.
You know, so that's going to be a difficult situation to be in. You know?
Yeah, it's got to
Definitely.
be very hard.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I think that, you know, a lot of people, and that's why we've got to be careful too, when we're in our emotions, in our flesh, like we say, you know, as believers, to not jump online and right away say
Right.
something, because even though, you know, that's his story and, you know, it's right there on black and white, he may regret speaking out on it. And,
Yeah.
you know, if they can form a forgiveness, and even if you don't stay with the wife, like, that's going to be his only children. He
Yeah.
had no other children. So really,
And at the end of that book, he's talking about divorce, right? He's saying,
yeah, and that lady like robbed him, in my opinion, of
Mhm.
having a biological lineage of his like last name to carry on, you know?
Hey, that's true.
Imagine.
I never even thought about it like that. You're right,
It's
Jen.
messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
But God bless them, you know? Like
yeah.
they can make it
I
work
agree, Darlene.
if
Yeah.
it's the right thing. And I just hope that
Hmm.
for his sake, for all of them, you know, but I cannot imagine what that must feel like, you know. It's
How
gotta
many years do you think they're apart? The sons.
I think they were within a couple years apart. Like one was 42, one was 40, maybe.
Oh, okay. I know he mentioned their
Yeah.
ages, but I didn't.
Oh, was it the same man?
And that's what
He's
he
gonna go and
mentioned.
test and see if they're
Yeah.
brothers.
He said he doesn't believe it was even the same man. So I don't know if he's referring to maybe the young men look very different or
No.
Yeah,
whatever his reasoning may be. He doesn't even feel like it was the same
that's
person.
crazy.
Well, all that trust is out the window with her anyway.
But devastating. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Sometimes I've heard of people in my lifetime that this situation happened to them, and they stepped up and still took care of the kids, man. But it was at a younger age.
Mhm. Yeah.
They just did it.
There's some
But
stories, trust me.
Right.
everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's
SPW, that is a loaded question, but I will say this.
What?
I was a teenager. Okay. I was a teenager, and I wasn't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like, because I was pretty sheltered, but like my mom would take us on, shout out to you, Mom. I know you're probably watching. Like little excursions to go skating. My first time being arrested was at the skating rink in Gilroy, little melee. But anyways, so yeah, at one time when I was a teenager, I was talking to 3 boys at the same time. Like I said, no, I never kissed any of them, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I was not being honest that. Then again, in my favor, nobody really asked me, are you talking to anyone else? But
you mean the guys?
Regardless, there was 3 boys I was talking to at the same time.
Okay.
And my fault, I got caught. They all showed up at my house on the same day at the same time.
What?
One brought me a jersey. One brought me flowers.
Oh no.
And one brought lunch.
Wow.
And I felt like a big a-hole to put it. You know what I mean? And even though, like I said, I wasn't doing nothing with nobody, I was a teenager, young teenager at that. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere on my own. It still felt like a really grimy situation on my behalf. It didn't feel good. So yeah, I guess
but nothing as an adult.
As an adult, no, because that's where like my faith part stepped in, and you've also got to look at things like this. Like there's blurred lines. There's what technically, like, what if you're leaving a relationship and haven't been active in that relationship in several years, but haven't finalized a divorce, or you know what I mean? Like,
that's a good question. Let's answer that.
I'll let you answer that.
Say you're married, right?
Yeah.
Say you're married and you're split up, you're separated, and then you go out with somebody because they're gone and they're not in their life right now. Is that cheating?
I mean, how long have you been separated for?
For years. A year.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay, can you say that one more time for me?
Okay, say this. Okay, it's in my life. I ain't gonna. One thing happened in my marriage where we split up, we're gone, and it was a whole year. I didn't cheat on her. I didn't do nothing like that. I stood by myself even for a year after that, with not even meeting a girl or nothing like that, right? And then, but I met somebody, and when I finally met somebody, then I was there, But so is that cheating?
I don't think it is.
So I don't feel like it is.
I'm guilty.
No,
I'm guilty.
But I don't feel like it is.
Look I don't know what she's doing, and she's somewhere else also, and
right. So you're like walking in blind faith that she's not doing anything.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is what I did is I'm not right about it, but it just happened,
So I don't feel like you're wrong either, though. Like if you were separated that long, let's be honest, you guys, we're all grown here right now.
Yeah.
We're not wasting our days away years and years at a time waiting for someone to pull their head out of their rear end, or eventually we're going to crave affection and attention and maybe a healthy relationship. So everything is different, right? I get it. I can't speak for anyone's, even my own situation.
But during, like, when we're really together, did I cheat while I'm with my son? No.
Right. Like when you were laying in the same bed, when you were under
all
the
in
same
one
roof.
household. Yeah.
Right.
I don't do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that is, and unless you were over here telling her like, yeah, we're gonna get back together, like unless you're like feeding into someone's head.
No, I didn't. You know what I said to myself? I don't even know what she's doing.
Yeah.
We didn't have no connection. I said, well, I'm just going to go on with my life and move on there,
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
and that's understandable. Like I feel like, especially like I said, in our age right now, like if you are in a situation where you're meeting someone or possibly meeting someone, we're looking for someone to potentially marry. We're not like just bopping around like the judge said, unless that's your thing to bop around.
No, I personally like. I've been married twice, and I didn't mind the first year, 16 years. You know, things happen after 16 years. You know, 10 years. You know, and it's a trip. You know, but there's nothing wrong with being married. You know, there's nothing wrong. That's the way I think people should be. You know, that's how
Yeah,
I
like
feel,
right
and take
there.
care of one another. I
Yeah.
have a family member, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this family member has been with her since she was in high school, and now he's like 40 something, and they're still together and still, man, doing good, doing real good together, man. Yeah,
That's good. That's
yeah, it's a
amazing.
blessing.
Yeah, Darlene,
Open
this is a
house.
good one. Darlene says, I think if you're separated and you want to try and fix it, but after a year and there's no working on your relationship, then it's not cheating. Yeah, then no. So yeah, if
Are you so you're talking like a married, right? Casa? Talking about
Yeah,
being married? Oh, okay.
yeah, but in is it? Am I sinning? Yes, I was, and that's no lie.
so that's
It-
right. Like us as believers, that's the
yeah,
part where we hold ourselves accountable and feel convicted,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I
Same.
was, and I ain't gonna lie.
It's
Yeah,
holding yourself accountable, exactly.
I feel the same. I get what you're saying. I do that feeling as well. What do you call a single rabbit? You call him, I don't know.
It's an open house.
We gotta come up with open house. That's
Open
funny.
house.
Gotta wash my hands.
But yeah, that's a good, because we like people of faith, we do walk in a different light, like where we
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
hold ourselves to a higher
Yeah.
accountability. So yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because me personally, if you do something like that, if you're getting served by one and everything's going good, why go to somebody else's house and think the
Right.
grass is greener on the other side? Why do that? You know,
Mhm.
and as adults here,
Mhm.
just because is it what that person's prettier or more handsomer or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you don't know their personality, so you have to.
Hey,
Why just not stay with one person? You know.
exactly. Because you also like don't be careful not to judge people because you
Yeah.
don't know within that marriage, like, hey, you don't know if I'll use myself as an example, just hypothetically, okay? You don't know if I was being abused, cheated
Yeah.
on. No, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You know what I mean? And a lot of those things I'm not a pastor or anything like that, but would qualify somebody to be qualified for a feasible divorce,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, an American Topper. That's right, an American Topper.
Yeah.
My first marriage, there was grounds for it.
Yeah.
After 16 years.
Same. Yeah. So I definitely relate what you're saying.
But the good thing now these days is the the baby of my kids. I mean, the mother of my kids.
Mhm.
I forgave her and forgave everything. So it's like everything's squashed. I don't have all the stuff. I don't
Yeah.
have no hatred no more. I'm
Man, that
past that,
feels
man.
good.
I'm
Yeah.
past that, and it feels good. I just feel good. And I explained it to her. I told her, and it's a good thing, man.
That feels good. I
Yeah.
feel like I wasted so many years, beefing and unforgiveness with
Hmm.
my girl's dad until, sadly, like it came to the point where, he passed away from cancer. But I really cherish those last 3 days because my girls had called me and said, Mom, Dad wants to talk to you. Can you come over? We hadn't talked in like 12 years probably. And mind you, we had been going back and forth in custody court for like 8 years straight. Just stupid. Like we were friends before anything. We could have avoided all that had we not let family and friends get in our ear. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
wasted a lot of time with that, where we could have
Yeah.
just not stayed married, but we could have worked our situation out with the kids. But
Yeah.
I did go over, and we had a few moments of complete, like, just, I'm sorry for what I put you through and did to you, and vice versa. And the kids were able to witness that and see it, and it was
And
really,
I bet you they felt good. Yeah, that's a blessing right there. Because
Yeah.
things happen in life, but
Mhm.
it doesn't have to continue. The hatred and the anger. There's forgiveness, man. So it's like, let it die, let it die down, and then it took years for me to come up with this. Like, after we've been married, it took
Yeah.
years, but when I finally said it, I meant it,
Mhm.
and I was able to say it to her. Because before it was like I wouldn't even talk to her or just this and that's it because of all the stuff we went through.
Yeah.
But and now I can say, hey, what's up, how you doing, that's it. And we could talk about the kids, or I mean they're grown now, you know what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
we could have conversation, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely feel like that's a beautiful thing that you can turn that into, because it only, I'm sure the kids and the grandkids even feel so much more at ease.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, because first thing kids, we're kids too at one point in our life. You look at your parents, like, especially if they're not together, but they have to be around
Right.
each other, right?
Oh, it's so awkward. Yeah.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Hey, well, I used to see her, man, that she had, and we started off in a way at the beginning when my kids started telling me stuff. I had to confront him because I didn't like the way he was treating my kids,
Right.
when they were over there, so we had an issue. But then afterwards, everything was cool. Her man was there and I was there at the house, and we're all together in the same place, and it was cool. It was okay. It
That's
just
good.
sometimes things happen.
Yeah. I feel like that is a thing that happens. I can remember that, in my parents' transition of divorce and then into my mom's marriage to my stepfather, there was an awkwardness. There was a,
Yeah.
like, I didn't want my dad to
Yeah.
know that I liked him, or he was, you know what I mean? Like it felt weird at first, but
yeah, you felt like because I was,
like I was betraying my own dad or something.
yeah,
But
like a
Yeah.
betrayal
in the
type.
long run, my parents were able to do the grown situation and forgive, move on, and they actually became, I would call them friends. They were able to converse about the kids, the grandkids. We were able to go to functions like in the same building and without that weirdness or aggression. And I know that's not common. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. I used to see
When I
my
was in
stepdad
church, right, there was a gentleman behind me, and we're there at Bible study, and we're talking, and he happened to bring this up about his wife that they divorced, and then she went on her way, and he went on with his life, and it's been over 10 years or more, and then they started talking again. They got back together again, and now they're married again.
You never know.
And it's a trip. So everybody's it's different.
Yeah. You
I used to
just
sit back and watch my stepdad and my older siblings' dad would be all, and my grandma too. Well, she wasn't my real grandma, but my grandma they would all be, over for Christmas.
Mhm.
And I remember just sitting there waiting to see like who was gonna fight. Not that they were, because they didn't,
Yeah.
but being a kid, I was like 7 years old. I was
Right.
like 7 years old, just looking like, how's this possible right now?
Yeah.
I remember
Hey,
thinking
hey,
that.
when I was a kid, this was in Almani, and I was walking, and I
Mhm.
seen my dad, and I said, "Dad," and he looks at me and says, "Go, go." He's like this, and there's another kid coming around the corner saying, "Dad, Dad." I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, that story's for reals, man. But it's a trip. But
Yeah.
who
I
knows?
believe it.
Yeah,
It's not uncommon though. Like, I shout out to my sister. She watches, some of I hate saying it, but you wouldn't understand unless I say it like this. I have a half sister. My
Mhm.
dad was in the service before he married my mom, and had a child, found out after he came back to the US. So I love her.
Oh,
We're in
Germany,
contact.
right?
Yeah, in Germany. So
Oh,
I have,
that's cool.
yeah. So I do have a little piece of my dad through her. You know what I mean? Even though she didn't really have a relationship with him, like she and I have a bond just biologically. And we're making an effort to build on that and get to know each other.
That's
So I
good.
really, I love her. I have a niece and
Aw.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Vince, there's the man of the hour. This is the guy who gave me the info on the topic we talked about last week, by the way. So shout out to you, Vince. I
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
that.
you said Vic Med,
I
huh?
did. I
Yeah.
felt like such
Yeah.
a
Okay.
tonka. Afterwards, I even
Saludos,
knew it right
Vince.
away. So shout out to Vince.
Okay, Vince is the one you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
I get them mixed up too when
I don't know why I
That's cool.
normally am good. I think it's just the V's. I just had a day
Matthew,
where
Tony. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So I mean it, like we said, it happens, but God willing, God
That's
bless
good,
that
man.
man and his family. I hope they can work it out.
yeah, for sure.
Ben says, me and my current wife have a great relationship with my ex-wife. I have 4 kids by her, and there is nothing I won't do for her. I love that, Vince. I
Yeah.
think that is really like the grown, mature thing to do.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And
That's
shout out
good.
to your
Yeah.
wife, because
Uh-huh.
not every woman would be that mature to be able to step into that position and roll with it like that.
Yeah.
So you must be a very good husband to be able to manage and handle a family unit like that. That's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to brother Tony, California
Yes.
table of
Tony, Amiga, Vanessa. Yep. Yep.
Yes, you guys are so
Drunken
great.
Chef.
For us. My Thea went back to live with her ex-husband after more than 20 years that they
Wow.
divorced. They are older now and enjoy each other's company very well. See, Miss Chano
Hey,
too.
sometimes I don't think it's a bad thing to reunite sometimes, but
Yeah. I
but
think it's
then
a
sometimes
maturity
it
thing,
depends on the
too.
person,
You know what I
have
mean? Like,
they
when
grown
you're
up
older, you're
or
mature, right? When you
you
get
know,
older, you start
yeah,
thinking better.
Yeah,
You don't think
absolutely.
like a kid, right?
Right.
yeah, people
Absolutely.
do change.
Yeah.
Definitely people can change. And you know what? I can see that. I can see that in people like
Yeah.
not everybody needs the things that there's certain ages and even certain people in life that are like, I don't need all that, like I just need companionship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I heard that from people. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's all about me and little big dog and Pearl.
Shout out to Pretty Pearl, right?
Hey, they're pretty Pearl. That's my
Aw,
babies right now, man. And
aw,
it's like because she's young, you have to take care of her, take her out, train her. She's
right.
doing well though, man. She's gravitating towards a little big dog, and when I take him out,
Aw,
she wants to go out, and then we go out together, and she does do her number outside.
right.
I mean, it's not always, but she does, and she's
Okay.
doing real good now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
That's
It's just
great. And you
training
were
that
listening,
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
listening on a podcast. House of Tattoos has a new puppy in the house, so
yeah.
we
Hey, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up taking her outside because I could hear it. She cries, but then she also barks. She has a
yeah.
bark, and because normally I don't think they bark, but she barked a little bit, and I said, okay, she's
Oh,
telling me I want to go, I want to go, so
God.
I'll take her out. And she does her number, man.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. Thank you, Drunken Chef. I appreciate that. He says hit the like. Yeah. Don't
Thank you,
forget to
thank
thumbs
you.
up
Yeah.
and share. We appreciate you. Check out his channel as well. Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree, American Topper. That's why I got Little Big Dog and Pretty Pearl.
Yeah. That's right. That's
And then later after I finalize something, then I'll be taking applications.
there you
Hey,
go.
you said her color though. I can't wait to see her.
I know. Me
What's
too.
that?
Her color, the way you were describing her.
Oh, she's like they say she's like a lilac, I guess, because she's real light gray with, and then the sun hits her, it's like a white. But then I swear I looked at her and I seen this kind of like light lavender color to her, but I could have been wrong. Maybe it
Yeah.
was my eyes,
Yeah.
But
I
she's
want to.
real nice coat on her. Real nice coat.
Yeah. So I should probably ask you behind the scenes, but
Hmm.
are there any puppies left or was
Yeah. There's
okay?
4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Any females left?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I will hit
Yeah.
you up and ask
Yes,
about
they're real nice looking dogs too.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're cute. Okay, cool. Amen. All right, so let's get into this next topic. I know we've got some wrestling lovers, some WWE lovers out there, and I had just seen this video a few days ago. I forget who did it, and it was about Vince McMahon. So, like I don't think he's the owner
yes,
or legally the owner of
Uh-huh.
WWE anymore because he stepped down, right?
Man.
But there's a lot of controversy going around right now because of some lawsuits against him from, well, one woman in particular that was a former employee. But I guess it has unraveled several lawsuits where he has been paying out women under the table. You know what I mean?
yeah. They signed a NDA. You know what
So,
is it? Is it NDA?
yeah. So he had them sign an NDA, and let me see and make sure I have this. I want to just put this up here real quick. So we're going to briefly speak about some topics that involve SA. So if you are triggered by that, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to play just a few moments of a video, but it does get a little bit graphic in the language. But just to better explain what we're speaking about with the allegations against Vince McMahon, the WWE former owner, we're going to play this real quick and then get your guys' thoughts on it, okay? So just a moment.
You have former employee of WWE, Janelle Grant, alleging that the former chair of WWE, Vince McMahon, forced her into a sexual relationship. There was sexual assault, sexual abuse, and trafficking at the hands of Vince McMahon. She goes on to say in this 70-page complaint that in one instance, she was forced into sexual activity by McMahon and another WWE employee locked in a room. She said she did not want to participate, but she was forced to do so. In this complaint, she alleges that one of the men said no means yes. Now, Janelle Grant worked for WWE for about a year, and essentially she's detailing that in order to get a job and keep her job there, she was forced into this sexual relationship with McMahon and forced to engage in sexual activity with other WWE employees and WWE superstars. Now, ultimately, she says that WWE was aware of what was going on, but did nothing. She was there for about a year. She ended up leaving, but before she did, she says she was forced to sign an NDA by McMahon in exchange for $3 million. So McMahon is responding via a spokesperson. They responded to Deadline. Here is exactly what this spokesperson said. Quote, "This lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that never occurred, and a vindictive distortion of the truth." Goes on to say that McMahon will vigorously defend himself.
Okay, so we're using that clip for fair use purposes, just to give our commentary on it, obviously. But, you know, a lot of times I think that this happens for several reasons. I mean, I know Vince McMahon has quite the reputation for being, you know, people say he's like that or very chauvinistic, this, that, or the other. But on the other hand, there's people who say that sometimes women get into a position where they start to have relations with someone in the company and then see a way to maybe extort someone and choose to follow suit and do that. This is all allegations, opinions. We're not professionals in what this is all about. We're just commentary like purposes. We're talking about this. So
Yes.
It gets pretty nasty in the allegations that she made. I'll be careful with my language, but the one that's most disturbing is she mentions that Vince McMahon had confided in her that he shared her nude photos with other employees there at WWE.
Wow.
And was basically, I'm sure that's where the trafficking allegations come into play, because he kind of supposedly, allegedly used her as a form of, like, you know, handing that out to others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she alleges there's a situation where she showed up to his condo and he was not alone. So it was him and another individual, a male, and there was something that took place. And then this is really foul, so I'm not going to go deep with it, but he did some disgusting act on her. I'll just say a number 2, and it was not McDonald's number 2. So that's all as far as I'm willing to go on describing that, because I don't get it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys feel like it's going to be hard for her to be believed or heard because so many people might see it as trying to just get a cash out?
You know what? Half of me says, I see how he was, but then half of me says what Top Gunner said right here. That's an open door. She needs deliverance, man. You never know. And I agree what he says on the other one. Of course, it's most people of power and control, sickening, and that too. See, so it's like both. I think he said it right on the hit it right on the button right there.
Right.
And that's how I was thinking.
Yeah, I want to make sure and express that I'm not trying to make light of this. It's just a nervous sort of laughter a little bit. But any man or woman, because it happens to both, who is exploited in any way like this, our hearts go out to. And
yeah. And you know what? To me, a no is a no. Period.
Yeah.
But I feel like as a person, not talking about her, just as a person in general, if a strong woman's out there and she's how would I say, this comes into play and it happens to her, she should just nip it in the bud immediately. I mean, really, because I mean, the job and then what's going to happen to you and all this other stuff's not good, man.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, he does have quite the reputation, that follows him if people go back and look. But also that if you know that someone has a reputation and you work for the company or you go to work for them, I don't know, for me personally, like, let's say I go to work for a company and I know the owner manager is a maniaco. Like, I'm going to be a little standoffish, not so eager to be, oh, hey, buddy, give a hug or, but I don't know, maybe she feared for her job, or it could be so many different things. I'm not sure,
I think something like that should be approached immediately or something done about that immediately, so it doesn't go any further. Because even after all this stuff happened to her, she continued to stay there, and worse stuff. Nah.
I think that's where she'll have the most trouble with this lawsuit, probably, is they're going to be like, well, why did you stay? Why did you stick around? I mean, and she will most likely say she needed her job, right? She needed her money. She felt extorted by him sharing her photos. So,
and then also there was a payoff, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's admitting guilt?
I think, because here's where he's going to get caught up. It was being paid off through WWE funds, not through his own bank account, like not a personal account.
Yeah.
Okay, I
the
see.
Allegations I heard were it was being paid off through the company, and there
Okay,
was
yeah, I understand now.
Yeah, allegedly there was like maybe 12 others that were being paid off at the same time. So that's not good,
No, not at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid. Like, Sancho,
people in a state when they have power, they abuse things, and sometimes they think that they could do whatever they want and disrespect women and or whatever, and it's not good. Nope.
Yeah, good night, Big D. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, like, it just, for the sake of the, I say the sport, some people say it's not a sport, it's entertainment, whatever it is, for the sake of people who enjoy wrestling, hopefully it lands in the right hands of someone who's going to treat it like a business and manage it properly and not like a, pass around sort of thing. Yeah. I'll say this. So I, at a young age, worked for a retailer. And I was, I loved it. I loved that job. And I had this boss. She was a lot older than me. She was my mom's age. I remember she was like the same age as my mom.
Hmm.
And I remember her bringing me into her office. Man, and thinking back on this, I'm like, this chick was scandalous. And she was telling me, like, you can really move up in this company. Like, you can really, there's opportunities.
Mhm.
She's like, but do you want to know how you can move up more quickly? You know, being like young and naive. Yeah, I think I was 18. But I was like a naive 18. So
Mhm.
I won't say exactly what, but she's like, and mentioned the manager of the store and said, you could basically get in good with him, and this is what he likes. And you could move up quickly in management.
Oh,
And she was
Wow.
my mother's age, telling me
Wow.
foul,
Mhm.
wrong.
Hey, I want to know. I have a question. This happened to me in real life, right?
Mhm.
I used to work for a water company, and I used to deliver water, the 5 gallon, like that, bam. And I was setting up this lady. I walked in the door and I was setting her up. We're writing the contract and everything. Well, I was setting it up, and I went and I started pulling the thing around like this, so water goes down faster, the jug,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she came and did something to me on the backside, right?
Right?
And then I says, and I looked like this, and I says,
Yeah.
and at that time I had another gentleman that I was training, right?
Mhm.
And so, but he's out there soliciting, trying to get new clients or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. So I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, can you hold yourself back for a minute? I have another one to put on,
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
so she would start talking about like, hey, this my husband's gone, and this and that. He's been gone for a week and this and that. And I said, no. I said, man, I'm okay. Thank you very much. I said, we got to finish this contract, sign this contract. And
Mhm.
so I sat down where I sat down to sign it, and she sat down there next to me. Now I'm like, I hope this guy hurries up, because
Yeah.
you got to stop and think. This lady
Right?
can say, oh, this guy did this to me, did that to me.
Yeah.
So, hey, could I have sued her?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. Right. That's the thing. Like, just because you were a male on the job, that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't mean you automatically wanted that attention. That's wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
What she did to you was wrong, and you could
yeah,
have done something had
yeah,
you chose to.
yeah, and it is, and it's a trip, man.
Yeah, that's putting you in a very awkward position, and that's not right.
And that's, yeah. I'm not that type of person. Cultura. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the truth,
Listen,
and
I've been in situations like that a few times.
yeah,
This guy though that worked at my job, Melvin's worked there. I worked there
Mhm.
long after Melvin. But so this guy was the security guard actually, and he would call me Blondie, and I'd turn around and tell him that's not my name. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me like that. I didn't
Yeah.
give him an impression that anything. It was work. Like I would not. This guy was just a pervert. He ended up doing I don't know what some foul stuff to
Mhm.
other ladies, students there that worked there, students that went there. But yeah, he would call me Blondie, and I kept, and one day we were driving a little cart. Melvin's driving a little cart,
Mhm.
and we happened to see him and a guy standing there, and we get off the cart, and he says, "Hey, Blondie," and then I looked at him. I looked at him. I was like, I've told him not to call me that.
Mhm.
I've told him several times not to call me that, and he still does. So first thing we did, we went and reported him. I don't even know what happened there, but years later down the line, yeah, he got caught up making advances at some students, and there were just more than one. So he was
you know
just
what's a,
something
go
else.
ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, he was just something else.
You know what's a trip is in one of my jobs I seen, and this was when I was a bus driver, right? And a lot of the people that were in there were single too, or going through divorce or this and that. So they were getting with each other in there. And it was like people that were drivers getting with staff and all this other
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
And then there was a SH. Can I say that word? You know what that is?
Yeah.
SH. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that happened. So now they brought in a person to speak about that. So we all had to have a big old sit down in the break room, you know, about that. What you can do, what you because you can't say, hey, good job, or hug somebody, or
Right.
you know, or certain things. There's things that you can't do, you know, or
Mhm.
give somebody even a compliment. And it's
Yeah.
kind of a trip because there's a lady in there that was a supervisor that I really respected. She's an elderly lady. I was younger at the time, and but it was like we were family. And I would give her a hug because she was going through a lot of stuff. She had a taken away from her and all this stuff. So just showing love, but they say you can't even do that no more. So after that, we're just like, hey, how you doing? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's you got to be
That's
careful,
what
man.
it right. And that's what I was gonna say too. Like just to, piggyback off of what you said and then what Denise said. That guy, saying that to you, Denise, I'm sure felt like it wasn't a safe compliment or a silly little thing. He was being gross, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that makes it messed up because you could have a playful banter back and forth and a silly, fun friendship with someone, but it ruins it because there's people that mean it in a different way.
Yeah, yeah,
So now we have to be guarded and
yeah.
careful
You
of
have
like,
to, and things started changing after that. Is like, but I mean, I just continued working. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they really hammered down on that back in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you did
That
not
you're right. That's
now,
when it was about the same time.
yeah, nothing like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So now
yeah,
like they make you like most jobs, right? When you start, now they make you watch like the videos, about certain types of
Yeah. Sexual
harassment.
harassment, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You can't be doing that. Yeah, yeah,
right.
And like Gasa said, sometimes it's not even like it's a family type. You could, you can look at it that way too. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
she must have felt family to you, household.
You know what this that lady what she did for me is she handed me $1,000 one time because she knew I was missing work
Mm,
and my son got leukemia. So I was at the hospital all the time and this and that. While she comes and hands me $1,000 in an envelope and she tells me, and I gave her a hug, after that, even after they told us that time, I did give her a hug
yeah,
because
because you
I
didn't.
couldn't stop it because you know what? At that time, I was needing money because I was missing work.
Mhm.
Um, but after she did that, I told her, "Is this from you?" And she goes, "No, but I can't tell you who it's from."
Mm,
And I says, "I won't accept it then."
mm,
I told her, "If you don't tell me, I won't accept it."
yeah.
And then she goes,
Yeah.
and she told me. So I
Mm.
went up to the man and I told him, "Hey, thank you." He was a real nice gentleman, man. Real nice guy, man.
That's,
Good guy.
yeah,
Good guy, man.
that's awesome. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. I mean, I feel like it does happen to men. I won't say who, but there's one of my children's father, not that there's a bunch, there's two, but told me, men that work in jobs like you said, like maybe something delivering water,
Yeah.
construction. In this case, it was construction. He had told me he showed up to this lady's house, to fix something. Thank God, there was other guys with him because she could have said anything, like you said, like she could have said this guy took advantage of me or exposed himself.
Exactly.
When
Exactly.
in reality, she opened the door completely nude.
Dude, I was just gonna tell you a story like that.
Listen,
Construction guy.
okay,
Yep.
construction, yeah, these guys, I'm telling you.
Joe, this is Jen Magana, and this is Denise. Yeah,
Huh?
that's
Okay,
Joe, the foot doctor.
okay,
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh,
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Jen.
you got to be careful on both sides,
Yeah,
because things can turn to the worse for you just by somebody really saying something wrong.
right,
And
right. So you guys got to be careful too, because that's messed up. Like one accusation
yeah.
could really jeopardize you guys. And the thing is, I feel like, and I'm going to say this as a
Mm.
woman, I feel like men are typically viewed as guilty until proven innocent. And that's why having two sons, I have always told them how careful they need to be and carry themselves in certain situations.
Mhm.
yeah.
And that's just my opinion. So, yeah. So what was the thing you were going to say, Denise? Do you remember the?
Well, the guy that worked on my house too, he was telling us stories about that. Like, he was inside working on this lady's house, and she, showed herself, and he was like, "Wait," I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Well, we can have a little fun." And he's like, "There's some way out people." And he told me a few stories, and I was like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" He's like, "No, I'm not lying."
Yeah.
He goes, "There's some
some crazy chicks out there. Yeah. I don't know, but I believe it. I've heard it secondhand from people I know personally, and it's a thing.
You'll be surprised what you see out there, man. Because when I used to do that work for that water company, I ran into people that when you knock on the doors, man, and the lady comes out naked.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it's true.
I lost my train of thought.
She said,
Of course, right? Like, how can you not?
I'm like, okay, distract me like that. But anyway, this is okay.
Yeah.
Hey, and then I walked into this this dude, man, and then he did the same thing. I just, all right, have a good day, man. Went my way,
Yeah.
But then I met an old lady, and the old lady says, "Yeah, I want to sign up." And then all of a sudden, she goes, "Come into the house." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I did. She was an old lady, and I went there. She had cookies for me. She had milk for me. I signed her up, and then I was out. Bam,
Yeah.
It was a trip. Some weird people out there, though, man.
This guy that I'm telling you about, telling me these stories, he said that one time, the lady one lady, a client of his, says, "Don't mind me, this is how we are, and I'm involved with nudist, what do you call those?
Community or beach
Community,
or
whatever, community." Anyways, and he was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, don't mind me. I walk around my house, nude." And he's just like, "Not today, dude."
That is
stories. I was just like blown away. Like,
right.
Yeah, that trips me out. Like, there's actual, like, you bringing that up, there's like certain beaches and things out there are like nudist communities. So you got to be careful where you just decide to roll up and show up to.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like what's out there in the world. I don't know. Hey, Dr. Chapton, good to see you. San Jose Lifer, what's good?
San Jose Lifer's in there too. Yep.
My throat's real dry, you guys. That's why I keep like, trying to scratch my.
That's right.
It's the weather. So is mine. I felt that. Yeah, it's the weather.
I'm even feeling nice, man.
It started getting cold, Denise, out here. Earlier, it started getting cold. I was like, "What?" Because it was cold, but it was warm, a nice warm day. But then all of a sudden, the cold came quick.
Yeah.
It's cold up there where you're at too.
Thank you, Pearl.
Pearl, shout out to you. Thank you. Much love and respect from the Contreras family.
Thank you, Pearl.
That thumbs up. You guys heard it from Pearl herself and the Contreras family. Thank you, Pearl. Appreciate you so much. Yeah, I feel like there's something going around right now. Ruby's been sick the last few days. I had to make her an appointment. They can't see her till Friday, but yeah, I'm managing, whatever it is right now with her cold medicine. So, but yeah, she said her throat feels scratchy, dry.
Everything
Yeah.
I go into my daughter's house and I wear a mask because my grandkids are sick, coughing, and I go and make a quick, brief stay in there for a little bit. Yeah.
With kids, it's like a constant, if they're going
to school, always, it's just, you're right, Jen. Yep.
It's unavoidable, Yeah. Let's see here. Darlene has a comment here. She says, "I used to manage a couple of bands, so I was always the nightlife." Oh yeah, met a lot of strange people. I bet you did. That is probably a whole different scene, working like a night shift.
Right.
That's a whole video and conversation in itself.
Right.
Work nights as a receptionist at a car dealership, right? And every weekend, every Friday night, in came girls left and right to the guys up there. I'm just like, dude.
Yeah. Hey, I worked at a dealership too. I think I told you that. Like I worked at Lexus, and
I don't know.
man, the things that went on there, I was like, just leave me
Lighter.
alone. I don't want to see nothing, hear nothing, even
Right.
within the office area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the guys were good to me there. The manager, the manager up there, the sales manager, he was so cool with me that he got my job back when I got laid off. I didn't show up. I didn't show up over the weekend. I was tied up somewhere and
Tied up.
to work and
Who tied you up, Denise?
Orange County Jail. Literally.
Literally, like you were tied up. Well, you gotta
I was
tell
bound.
shout out to Denise. That's a real one right there, telling you guys the truth right here on the round table.
Yeah.
That is funny.
But yeah, I got my job back. I was like, right on, dude. That's cool.
Right? That's a good guy right there.
He looked out for me and I looked out for him.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So
Sano,
Saludos, Jojo AZ.
you own a Lexus? Yeah. I worked at Lexus for quite a while right there in Seaside, California.
Right on.
Yeah. It was
Reception or what?
Yeah, yeah. But the thing that was messed up is the only restroom, like in the showroom, was right behind my desk. So they would have to come through my little door and behind me. So anyone, like customers, employees,
Wow.
girl,
Yeah.
the things I found in there, I cannot even repeat. I will just tell you. I saw some things that I've never seen in my own real life before. People are weird.
You know what tripped me out? I went to Morongo Casino, and I went to the club. It's in the middle, not all the way to the top. There's a restaurant on top, but it's in the middle, right? And we were partying there, and there was a man and a lady right there on the couch because the way they had it designed, it's like you can see out the windows and everything, and they had a little seating area in the middle too. And there was a lady and a man getting sexual. I mean, doing that stuff like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
right there.
And nobody said anything. And I was like, wow.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That is a trip how and you would figure at a casino.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? I don't know.
They went a little too hard on those free drinks. I think,
and I think whatever thought they were like Vegas or something. Whatever happens at Morongo stays at Morongo or whatever. You know,
where is Morongo?
It's over here. It's about by Banning and Beaumont. It's about maybe 30 minutes from here, maybe depending on traffic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother stays out there banning by the windmills.
Oh yeah.
The old windmills, right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's about 2 hours from me, maybe.
Jojo.
Something like that.
Shout out to all the mods in here.
Jojo said, hey, we were laughing, man. We were saying, "Want to check this out?" Don't believe
So
it.
is that the name of the town, Morongo? I've never heard of it before.
It's an Indian reservation there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to deliver concrete to that Indian reservation, and every time I went on there, man, I swear I was chanting like a Indian. And then they have a graveyard in there. I went by the graveyard over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one time I went in there and I wanted to go home, man, because it was just a long day and I had a late run.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to deliver concrete, and I was all like, I got off the truck dancing and chanting like an Indian, and they go, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I'm trying to do a rain dance so I could go home." You know?
Right.
but you know what? I seen something weird in there that tripped me out. Drugs. This lady must have been on drugs.
Yeah.
And she was just in another zone. She's walking out and she just not wearing much, and she comes walking out and she's just like in a different world, man, and tripping out. But not only that, just to see the Indian reservation is kind of like a little creepy. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little creepy, man. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I have a great aunt. Oddly enough, my grandmother's oldest sister is still alive. She's 98 now, and she still lives like on the res. And whenever we would go visit up that way, it felt a little eerie, you know. You feel something that's just, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you probably know what I'm saying. Like it just,
I guess because there's a lot of okay, they have the land there, right? And
Mhm.
there was some nice homes that were really nice, but everything was all tore up, and then they had abandoned cars everywhere,
Yeah.
broken windows, and
Red
just really
dogs
some of
running
the houses
around.
there were nice, and then some of them were kind of tore back, you know.
Mhm.
But it just an eerie feeling, man, just like
Mhm.
weird, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That the one thing I remember, it was a trip. So when I was a kid, we stayed the night there at her house, and my great grandfather, he was like 102 already or something, and he was in a, like an old folks home. So we were going to go visit him the next day
Mhm.
with my grandma, my mom, and we were staying at my great aunt's house, my grandma's sister, the one that's still alive. And I fell asleep. I was sleeping on the couch because the house was packed. It was a small little house out there, and I felt a breeze come through, and it just like, I don't know, gave me like a chill, and it woke me up, right? And the first thing I see, I opened my eyes, and it looked like these eyes were staring at me.
We,
Wow.
And it was in front of the window. And you know
Wow.
how when you're scared, I mean, for me anyways, I freeze at first. I don't like react immediately. I froze.
hmm.
And then I realized, you know what it was? It was the peacock feathers. And
Oh,
the
okay.
design in them, like
Yeah, yeah.
they have like a circle design at the top of them, and it looked like a set of eyes staring at me, but really it was just some peacock feathers like right in front of the window, and the window was cracked, so it was making it move.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Woo!
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I think I didn't move. I didn't go back to sleep. I just stayed there like stiff until the morning.
How old were you?
I had some neighbors, right?
Probably 10.
It was 4th of July, right? And the neighbor across the street, Ron, and then the other one next door to him, they moved there. They bought a house, right? Well, they were from Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So we got to know them, and they were cool. We were like having these big old parties and everything, cooking pigs and stuff. Well, it was the 4th of July. He decided to go. The owner of the house went, and he left his uncle there, right? Well, the
Mhm.
neighbor owned a German Shepherd, okay? And the German Shepherd was there. And then Ron was out of town. He went to, I think it was the river. So he went to the river. So nighttime came, the fireworks went off. The dog was going crazy because he couldn't go nowhere. They left him outside. He jumped the fence, went over to the neighbor's house, and the neighbor had the window cracked a little bit because it was like this. So then it was nighttime and dark. All of a sudden, this is what the guy's telling me, right? He says, I thought it was a chupacabra because the dog was trying to jump in the window,
Oh my
like
God.
this, and his paws were coming through the little crack right
Oh
there.
no.
And he was just all he's seen when he shined the light, like the red eyes and that. He's like, he was scared because the
Uh-uh.
dog was ugly looking too,
Yeah.
it was a trip, man. That cracked me up, man. But
Wow.
that stuff like that happens, man.
It does. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Oh, yeah. Look at
he
we're
was
all
all
gonna
like
be thinking about
chupacabra.
that.
Victor,
Yeah.
Victor, send mine, brother.
Victor.
What did Joe say?
That's right. Joe says,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was a real foot doctor. I
No.
see him on other channels, and him and Nail.
are you, or are you just,
No.
let's hear. Let's hear.
I think it just came up. So I seen that in I think it was Gilu's show, and then it started coming up, and I was like, hey, I guess he's a foot doctor, man.
Yeah, him and Nail.
You hear that? Yeah. Or just send, it wants the feet pics, huh? Let us know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I see Joe on other channels. I'm surprised he doesn't
Yeah.
recognize us, Jen.
Yeah.
Hey,
But-
Joe, you live out in Riverside. I think he lives out here too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I remember his little Rams.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Jojo AZ says, I'm gonna catch me a chupacabra and train it to fight
Try to
pit bulls.
find pit bulls.
Hey, I would show up to see that for sure. You know what, Jojo? I know I'll message you. I have some family moving to Arizona. They leave Thursday. So sad,
Wow.
guys.
Yeah, my
Wow.
brother's out there. He's doing good.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hear a lot of people moving out, man.
there
Can't
is.
afford it, and they says I got to move. They're
Yeah, there's a lot of people moving to Arizona, Texas, Idaho. You know,
Yeah.
lot more
I
affordable
don't
house.
like it, but he's already gonna be like 61, I think, and
All right.
you know, it's like not what you like, it's what you
Oh,
got right now. You know,
yeah.
daughter, you
Well,
have a daughter out there, so
sometimes it's got to be that way. You know what I mean? And it might not always be where we
But
want to be, but it
yeah,
might.
by choice. Yeah, but yeah. I never thought I'd be out here in Riverside County because it was
Really?
hot as heck, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
you have air, Casa? You have air in your house?
That's awesome.
uh, I have an air conditioner, but not central air. No,
Okay.
the houses that I live here, because I'm so close to the base, right?
Mhm.
There were houses that were converted because they were from the base. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. You know what? I think you've, uh, the other, there's a female on YouTube, Indicted TV. I'm sure you guys have seen her. She did an interview recently, and she talked to a lady that it was cool to hear her telling her story because she's like, "Yeah, I picked up my homegirl from Miscellaneous, and then we not cool that she got arrested, but to hear her say the city where I live, and then we went to this small town. I can't remember. It was like a military town, and Fort something Fort. I'm like, okay, she's talking about Fort Ord. I know exactly
Okay.
where she's talking about because she mentioned the police arresting her out there, and I'm like, yeah, that's the military. Used to be military base, close by here, but it's like not active military anymore. It's all like condemned buildings. What's crazy is there's so many like empty houses there. There could be housing so many people, you guys.
Wow.
You know
It's
what,
like
Jen?
hundreds of acres of nothing.
Yeah, over here they had that. It was I would say west of the freeway, the 215, right?
Yeah.
But before they knocked them down, they used to use it as military training because of the Gulf War, right?
Uh-huh.
So they were going house to house and everything, and you could see them setting up their areas where they were fortified and stuff, you know. And but now they knocked it down and they build houses now. They got not houses, commercial buildings. You know, they're popping up everywhere over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering what they're gonna do. Yeah. Shout out to Negra Indicted TV. That's where I saw the interview. And I was like, that was cool to hear that lady talk about this area right here because it's pretty small. Not a lot of people, know of it, but that was cool. Yeah, a lot of people moving around in that spot. I don't think that area, Fort Ord, has been like active military since maybe like after Vietnam. They kept it open. I remember my grandfather used to go there to buy, like, I don't know what you call it. There was a store there, like you had to have like your military ID to buy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. The comments. Not what do they call that?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Like a
I
regular civilian couldn't just go in,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have one out here still. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, they
yeah.
don't have it open anymore, but it was cool. I used to be able to go with him when I was a little girl and see that, but
Yeah.
it's just like
I
a
don't know
ghost.
if you guys remember a few years. Oh, sorry, Jen.
Yeah.
Um,
No, go ahead.
I don't know if you remember that big dome. It caught fire. I think you probably heard about it, House.
Oh, in Orange County. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah,
There's two of them. There's two big old what they call them, like hangars, I guess, where
yeah. Where they keep planes and they store planes. And, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
was a pretty big fire. They didn't even put it out. It was like still burning for quite some time, huh?
Yeah, they just let it burn out. Like
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
so big. It's so big that they just had to let it burn out.
Let it go. Yeah. Yeah, that
Very
spot,
cool.
Fort Ord, they would do like because there would still be the how do you call it, like under the ground the explosives. So they would still have like little missions where they would have, I don't know, dogs or things go out there and sniff out, like make sure there was no explosives out there still for their training that they used to do.
Yeah.
It
You
was
know, over here, Jen, when they have the air shows,
Mhm.
back in the days when I first came out here, that's when the F-4 Phantoms were flying. Now these are jets that they made for Vietnam back in those days, right? They were still using them, but now
Okay.
everything's more modern. But back in the days, they would be dropping bombs at the airfield right here to show people, and it sounded like a giant was walking on the ground. You could feel the vibration from a distance, like boom, 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 just like that, you know. But now they still do that, but at a lighter thing, you know. It's not so heavy ordinance. It's controlled. Let's put it that way. This time it's controlled, and it's not so loud, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's scary. You know, it feels weird when you
You
feel
feel
that.
like the shake and the boom,
Yeah.
boom, you know. It's a trip, man.
That is, hey Vince, that's right. Vince has quite the military background there. I'd love to speak to you, Vince, about that.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was stationed at Fort Ord in 1990 with
That's
Mighty
right.
7th ID
Thank you.
Mansions. Okay. Shout out to you, Vince, and thank you for your service. That's right.
Yes,
I
definitely.
remember you speaking of that on with Cholo before, Cholo Trucker.
Yeah.
Vince is the real deal, you guys.
I have 3 girls, Joe. No grandkids. No.
Yeah.
I wish.
You know, the ones that are flying from here right now are the F-35s, the Lightning 2, I think they're called. Those things are loud. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When they are loud. Yeah.
How far is that base away from you, Casa?
Oh,
Like not far?
no, one and a half streets right there.
Yeah, remember when we were talking not last week, but the week before, I think, or a few weeks ago, we heard they were flying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty loud too, especially when certain ones. You know which plane's a trip is the B-1 bomber. When it leaves there, that thing's even worse. It's like you hear a loud crackling, ear popping noise because it's like with the flight they fly. I could just look out my window right here, and you could just see it right there, and it's loud. Yeah.
How do you know the difference with them? I don't know anything about
It's because I've been living here, and I watch them all the time. I like air jets and stuff like that, military,
cool.
you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like to hear about that. That's cool.
They have a museum down there too. It's a cool museum. Yeah.
That's a guy. Well, I mean, it could be for girls too, but like airplane and stuff, you know. I remember
fascinating. It's fascinating. I have some. I remember my grandma telling me about some of my great aunts. So, like, my grandfather was the youngest of I think 16 kids, right? But some of his older brothers' wives, way back then, like when Pearl Harbor happened, I think the wives ended up being they would become machinists and work.
Yeah, they were taking up. Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up working on stuff for the planes, and that's very fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's when they started because the men were out there fighting the war, and these women were taxiing planes from one point to the other. They were also working in production, building planes, building things. You know,
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's a trip. Hey, you know what? My sister used to work on F-16 cockpits. She used to work on nuclear submarines. And I'm like, it's a trip, man, because she had to go in there. She said it's so tight and compact.
I can't imagine. Oof.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. Yeah, that's amazing. Because that plane could get up in the air with a short runway.
Oh yeah. You know what plane I seen, which was amazing, is the Spirit. The B is a B-2 bomber. No, not the B-52. I think it's the B-2 bomber. I think that's what it is. And it's the wing jet, the wing one. And that one's amazing too, you know. Very rarely, but I did see that, you know.
Okay. Interesting. I gotta hear more about that. Vince, I'm gonna hit you up about talking about your adventure as well. House, what base do you live by? Fort Irwin, the Dust Bowl?
You know, Vince, I known it as March, but you know, when they mention it on the TV, they say Mark Air Force Field, but it's MARCH. I thought it was March Air Force Field, you know, but they say Mark. Like on the news, they were mentioning it when they were doing all the flying out for the thing that's happening right now, you know? Yeah.
A little differently. Yeah.
So it could be called Mark Air Force Base, but I know it as March Air Force Base.
Yeah. Sancho, yeah, you ain't right. He said
I'm trying to read his comments.
for the women, they were supporting the war effort, but they're making a sandwich game fell off.
Hey, that's why if you look back in the days when you see on the side of the planes where they have the women were like this with
Yeah,
the
with that,
headband on or whatever, and you
yeah,
see that on the side of the plane because they played a role, man. They played a
for
role.
real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, even making the sandwiches for your man to go out and conquer the world. That's right. Yeah. We're gonna start wrapping it up, you guys. I want to shout out to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, thank everybody. Darlene, Pearl,
Yeah.
American Top Gunner.
Joe, Darlene.
We got Spanx Contreras,
Vince, G. Lou.
Vince, G. Lou, everybody, Sanho, Bougie
Sanho,
D,
Have you guys seen that Top Gun?
Joe. Gracias, Joe,
Yes,
for
Top
tapping
Gun
in,
is
brother.
always
Wes
faithful.
Carson,
Mrs. Chicano too.
Mrs.
Have you guys
Chicano
seen that
too.
movie?
Yep, Jojo.
What's that, sis?
Top Gun 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Mhm.
I like
Darlene.
watching it in the theaters. It was so like the sound. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So what do we got going on? I know, House, you and Monica will be live tomorrow on your channel, right?
Tomorrow morning at 7:30, check us out. You know, it's called Morning Glory. Man, get some a little bit of spiritual fed, you know, and it's a blessing to be there with Monica, you know, much love to them. And hey, man, it's a good thing, man. And a lot of people have been giving us good things about it, saying good things about it. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, you start off your day bad, you know, let's give a little bit of uplifting and stuff like that, you know?
True.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Then it got something cracking off. It was my bad yesterday. I was so busy yesterday, and I was supposed to do a meeting with these other 3 people, and I didn't get a chance, the opportunity, and I forgot it. I called it old nights because I forgot because I was so busy, you know. So, but yeah, on Saturdays I want to get something cracking with these gentlemen. Yeah.
Get it going. Yeah, we'll be there to support for sure. But definitely tune into the House's channel tomorrow, you guys. I wake up, get my little one up, and I definitely am there listening while I'm making her lunch, getting everything ready. So it'll make you feel good throughout your day. So check that out. I will share on my community page as well. Shout out to my co-host Denise and House of Tattoos. Couldn't do it without you guys.
Another episode down.
Another
what
one
episode
down.
is this?
Hey,
44.
check it out. And okay, I'm not going to say it, but I want everyone to guess. And then we'll come back with the answer next week. How long do you think the round table has been happening on Convicted Hearts channel? Just throw your guess out there in the chat, and then I don't know. You guys can just it's not like a contest necessarily. You can just throw it out there. What do you think? 12 months, 6 months, 8 months? Throw it out there, you know. It'll be interesting when we announce it next week. I'll just say that.
Cool.
Yeah, but yeah, next week we'll be back. You know, it's interesting the way things happen. I had an interview set up to be released tomorrow. It fell through. I had another one set up. It fell through. Just rescheduling, not because anything was wrong. But, you know, I may just end up doing a live just because I had told people I would have something coming out or put a video out. You know, I'll have something out tomorrow, but I've got some very interesting interviews, you guys, people that have contacted me, and some very different subjects that I know people are going to be super interested in. So 5 months, okay, got your answer. You guys keep dropping the answers. What do you think? 10 months?
Man, I've been trying to get in touch with Estevato. You remember Estevato?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't heard from him, or I haven't seen him on his
Really?
What's his real name? Do you remember his name?
Bobby G.
Bobby G.
Yeah, and I haven't seen him on any because he's normally on his social media and stuff.
Nice.
So I'm like, I called him and no answer, and I hope he's okay, man. Prayers up for him, man. Because
if you guys hear from him, tell him to get a hold of House.
Yeah, it's about the Bobby G, man.
Bobby G, House is looking for you.
And normally I could call him and stuff, but there's no answer and nothing, man. You know?
I was gonna say Javi might be able to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not answering his phone, you know.
Shout out to Incredible Javier. Yeah. Get a hold of House. So yeah, definitely want to do that. But thank you guys again for a wonderful night. This was another great show down in the books. We will be here same time next week on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it is my pleasure to sit amongst the two of my most favorite people in the world. And all
Hey,
of you.
hey, you're too kind, Jen. Hey, it's all good.
You
Yeah,
guys,
thank you,
you
man.
don't know. I mean it.
Thank
You
you.
guys really feel a big part of my heart. So thank you.
None.
And there's
That's
House and
good,
Channel
man.
right there. Tap in tomorrow morning. Don't miss out on that blessing.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you,
a blessed
George.
week.
Yes, you guys go check out Gilu's channel right now. He is live with Changing the Game.
Nice.
Don't miss out on that one, okay? Until next Tuesday, you guys have a blessed evening, and we appreciate you being here. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Good night,
Bye.
ladies. Good night.
God bless.